Hey, welcome to another episode of CVN's Trial Technique Spotlight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Shane Reed. I'm a trial consultant, and I want to explore today how Sean Claggett, in his opening statement, really set the stage for getting a $24 million verdict. And he did it by having a focused argument that really undercut the theme of the defense, not only by anticipating it, but executing a brilliant theme to counteract it. So here's what he did, and let me give you a little context. He was representing the mother of a child who was killed in a crosswalk, and they were suing a disposal company that was operating the sanitation truck that hit the girl in the crosswalk. The sanitation company had a lot of defenses. And what Sean Claggett did was just brilliant. He turned those those defenses into alibis. And you know what he said? Jurors, I want you to be investigators in this case. And the defense is going to have 8 alibis. And then he walks through the jury these 8 alibis in his opening statement. We don't have time to go through all 8. I encourage you to watch the entire opening statement. We're going to look at number 1 and then number 8, so the first and the last one, and watch what he does, and then we'll talk about it.
So let's look at their alibis. This is the part where this is what they're saying is the reason why Jasmine is at fault, but this is what the evidence is going to show. So here's the first alibi. Jasmine should have seen the garbage truck. It's her fault. Really? Let's watch this video. This is about 5 minutes, but this is their training material that they know to be factual, that they train all their employees on.
People are walking more for fun, for exercise, and for transportation. But our roadways aren't always designed for pedestrian traffic. Between 2003 and 2012, over 47,000 people died while walking on our streets. That's 16 times the number of Americans who died in natural disasters, earthquakes, floods, hurricanes, and tornadoes all combined. And children are disproportionately involved in these accidents. What can we do to keep these people and these children safe? Today, we'll hear from drivers in the Crown Point area who will talk about what they do to watch out for pedestrians.
You know, if you're in a residential area that has a school within it, when they start getting out, the streets and sidewalks are just flooded with kids. They have other things on their mind, like going to chase their friend that's across the street, going to chase that ball they just lost. They're not really worried about the dangers that are in traffic, are there every single day.
They're training folks, and they blamed the little girl. You want to know why we're here? That's why we're here. That alibi doesn't work for them. Republic Services, next thing is, hey, we're not responsible because she walked in the side of the garbage truck. What you're about to hear, you're going to see an animation that Bill Redfair, our expert, created based upon the video and testimony of Samantha Lopez and others. You're also going to hear a 911 call. This 911 call is from Daryl Bryant. He's the passenger who was allowed to leave without giving a statement. And listen to it, because in it, he doesn't say that a little girl walked into the side of our car. He goes, "We just ran over a little girl. We ran her over." Listen to this. So here's the animation. So we see our girls. They come out. Samantha pushes the button. It turns to walk. Jasmine, looking at the walk symbol, starts to walk. And then they make the turn and kill her. In the crosswalk with a walk sign, they run her over and kill her. So listen to this.
911 emergency, Tiger 15977, do you need to use fire and
Yeah, we need an ambulance, we need the police, we need...
So what happened?
They call us to the street at Stand Hill Road and Viking Road, please. And
So what is it?
a girl got hit by our garbage truck.
hit by our garbage truck.
Yes.
On Stacktown and Viking?
Right on the corner of Sagio, South Sagio Drive Road.
You know those statements you make right when something happens usually are the most truthful because you don't have time to think about how to change the story? You heard it. They hit the little girl. They hit her. That's his words.
Well, Sean Claggett did a number of things very well that resulted in a verdict for his client. There's no surprise that he put his best point and his second best point kind of bookend these 8 alibis. So they were number 1 and number 8. So think about that. You want to start strong and end strong in your opening statement. Secondly, he used different forms of evidence to persuade the jury. So the first one was a training video of the defendant. And that clearly shows that those drivers were trained to look out for kids in the crosswalk and just to be very careful. And then they used part of that training video, a testimony from other drivers who said how important it was to keep a careful lookout. Then he puts an X visually through the alibi number 1. So we have this visual of an alibi that doesn't hold up. And then number 8 was from the passenger in the truck who dials 911, and we hear a recording of the call. You couldn't quite see the animation, but they did play an animation for the jury. And then this 911 call where the passenger, Daryl, is calling 911 saying that a girl was hit. So we have training videos, we have 911 call, we have animation, we have visuals of an X over alibis, all these demonstrative exhibits to powerfully tell your story in an opening statement. So watch this entire opening statement. It's very beneficial. There are lots more of these techniques on CVN. They have a vast library. And if you want to learn more about me, go to my website, sign up for my newsletter, or connect with me on LinkedIn where I share thoughts on trial tips also. Hey, I look forward to seeing you next time.